1119. This is October the 11th. It's Friday. It's straight up 7 p.m. And once again, we're here on a Friday evening and hoping to present some information on the Ask Welfare Rights weekly broadcast. My name is Maureen Taylor. I work with Michigan Welfare Rights, and I'm here with my colleague Marion Kramer, the national chairperson of the Welfare Rights Union, who's going to give you an official welcome for this evening. So Marion, say hello.
Hello, and again, we're happy to be here. Look like the temperature is kind of dropping out there, but we're in a place that's feeling good. And remember that you tune in to WHPR, and we want you to participate. And the three numbers, if you don't be like me, I forget the numbers once I leave here. I have to look at my book. The numbers are 313-868-0342, 313-868-0351, and 313-868-4336. And we hope that you would, put your finger to doing the walking and dial one of those numbers and begin to participate tonight, because there's a lot of things going on around us. The website is www.tv33 WHPR.com. So, let's get to moving, Maureen, and see how far we can get tonight.
Okay.
And please have your pencils and paper, and remember when you're able to get on. A lot of time this phone is lit up, and we have to look at each other and say, okay, we got to get this brother or sister off the phone because other folks want to say something. So be aware that you don't have an hour to speak, not even 30 minutes, but you could call back in, so. All right, Maureen.
Okay, Mary, we want to say, first of all, and ask you to comment on it. We stand, certainly you and I, and welfare rights, we stand in absolute solidarity with these workers that are out here on strike.
Oh, we are.
Mary Barrow showed up at the deliberations yesterday, day before yesterday, whenever, and told folks, look, this is taking too long. Whatever it is that the union wants, find a way to give it to them, and let's make this happen quicker, as fast as possible. So today was supposed to be some kind of special solidarity day, and I was glad to see it just when I left the house. And but there are workers. I heard I've forgotten where it was now, where the police must have been in California, some plant there, and the police were helping to escort workers, security guards, past the picket line. And I heard about it. I think Navarre mentioned it, and wait a minute. Police officers are union members as well.
And they sure do be trying to get us out there on those picket lines to support them.
Yes, so that's an outrage, and that shouldn't happen, and that means any other worker that is a union worker, those of us that talk this kind of talk, and we should be telling folks that are not members of unions, cross those picket lines. If it wasn't for United Auto Workers, Mary, we would not have an 8-hour day, huh? If it wasn't for the UAW Auto Workers, we wouldn't have time and a half on weekends, huh? If it wasn't for the United Auto Workers picketing and getting beat up and killed, we wouldn't have weekends. So, all this, I'm not a member of that local. I ain't trying to hear that.
Well, another thing, too, Maureen, we got some cleaning up to do.
Absolutely.
And these young people going to have to understand
and
learn that you got a responsibility if you have the opportunity to get into a union spot. If you don't like what's going on, go to the meetings and try to participate and build that union. One of the only union basically that's left is the UAW.
I know.
And don't be fooled by what they have been bringing out, people stealing from you and saying, look,
that ain't
the person that's stealing from you is this government. And don't care if you're on your dead bed or nothing. You better deal with that one and make sure that all of y'all get out here and do something around changing the faces that are in D.C. and what have you. Now, you know, so.
And it might be crooks in the UAW
So what?
administration.
Deal
Go
with-
get them.
Let
that
them-
ain't got
yeah.
nothing to do with this strike.
No, nothing.
You know, this
but
is
I
not
am proud
news.
of them. I am proud. And I'm
Absolutely.
glad we went out there.
Stay on out there till
Um,
this thing is right, because whatever they get, the rest of us go get some of them
That's
crumbs.
It
It's gonna come
happens.
to us,
It
you know?
happens every time.
You know, that's the truth. Caller, you're the first caller of the evening. Thank you for being patient. And thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You're on the air.
Hi, good evening.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Just
can you
a
hear me
moment.
now?
Speak up a little louder.
Okay, hello?
Yes, can
Yes.
hear you now.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need a furnace in my house because my boiler cracked, and I was wondering, do you have anyone or know anyone?
Yes, ma'am. Take this number. You call Welfare Rights on Monday, Tuesday, or
Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay,
You ready?
yep,
313
uh-huh,
964
uh-huh,
0618.
0618.
Around
Okay.
12:30.
Around 12:30?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you guys have a good night.
Thank you now.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Caller, thank you for being patient, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You are on the air.
I can't get y'all. I'm trying to get y'all on my TV. I'm trying to get y'all on my Fire Stick. I'm trying to get y'all on my laptop. I don't see y'all, so I called anyway to see if y'all was in the house.
Have you paid your laptop bill?
No.
Maybe that's why you can't see us. That laptop bill's not been paid. But I'm glad you called in.
I paid them yesterday. That's
Oh.
all I got is internet. But you know, the Fire Stick is not much.
I
So
understand.
I did kind of hear some things you guys were saying. UAW. Yeah, we got to all pitch in.
Yeah, we
and
workers.
support them.
Yes, we're workers, whether we're working or not. When we get off of unemployment, when we get off of welfare, when we get off of all these other programs, none of us are going to be named Rockefeller. We still going to be workers. Yeah, and, you know, this is very important. And I think Marion and I both, we're disturbed when people are talking about, well, you know, that don't have nothing to do with me. I'm a
Oh,
security
my
guard.
God.
It does have something
Something
to do with you.
It was through the unions that you got some benefits.
You know?
And if you don't have none, it's because you ain't fought to get a union.
You see?
You know what? I think the ignorance comes from people not knowing what time it is, not knowing their history.
Yep.
Just don't know nothing.
And
All
don't
you know
look
to
to
do is
know
go for
nothing.
yourself. You're so individual. You're not looking out for nobody else but yourself, and that keeps you in this little bitty circle where you know nothing.
You know what, caller? You may have just given me an idea. I hadn't thought about it before, but maybe at my school, because we got a lot of kids that are always looking for electives and whatnot. Maybe we can offer, maybe in the wintertime, a union class.
That's good.
The
And
class about the
that's-
history of
how
unions
did the
for these
unions
kids.
come about?
Yeah, I ain't thought of that. So maybe you just gave me a good idea. I'll pitch it
Well,
to
you
them.
want for the old heads, too, because they act like they don't know nothing either.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
Hello, you know.
You know, each year, we have had the opportunity to participate with the black men in unions. And each year, you find out that these young workers haven't had the opportunity, like they should, to even learn about their unions like they need to know. Everybody in that shop need to know the contract, need to study the contract. If you're not doing that, get you a little group together and do that. And
study that.
General used to come home, and he made sure that he had all those contract books, made sure that I knew where they were and what have you, where you could, it's an education. If you have a problem, like with your job, or what have you, and your shop steward is not doing right, you got some rights against all that, and could end up getting back pay that you might be owed and everything. And
If
it's
you know what's in the
it's
contract. Yeah.
If you know what's in the contract and you got that little contract book with you, so it's an education.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a weapon to be used for the benefits of the workers.
Well, Carla, let me tell you this one last thing. I know that you take classes at WC3. Now, I'm not able to give you any specific information today, but in about 2-3 weeks, Marion and I are going to be on the air and talking about a celebration of the United Nations. It'll be 5 years since we brought them here. And we'll be talking about that in the next couple of weeks, and maybe you will accept an invitation.
Forum we had.
Yes, I remember it well.
I enjoyed that. I met people from all over the place.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, I tell you a lot of stuff. And we're not finished yet. We got a few more years to go, okay?
That was a good one.
All
Well,
right,
I
Carla.
got some information if y'all want to take it down.
Go right ahead. Marion, you got your
Reduce your 2019 property tax bill for October the 9th, November the 13th, every second Wednesday of the month. You can bring proof of your home ownership, your deed, land contract, settlements, and a whole bunch of stuff. So save the date to save your 2019 property taxes. Applications are due no later than December the 9th, 2019. I'm trying to see where the phone number is. Here's the contact number. Jefferson East, 313-331.
Wait a minute, hold on. Just write down the number, right on the back page.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah, reduce your 2019 property tax bill.
Okay, now what's that number? 331?
313-331-7939,
7939.
extension 1.
Extension number 1.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
free one-on-one application
details.
assistance will be offered at the dates below, so have them call for the date.
Okay, all right.
Okay, they're having an open house, Detroit Land Bank Authority,
Oh, yeah.
open house Sunday, October the 13th. That's 1 to 5, and that's invest in yourself, and the bidding starts at 1,000.
You know, that Detroit Land Bank, what we should
Yeah.
do is all the people on the west side should get a brick and then go to that meeting on the 13th and go early and throw a brick. And then that's for the first hour. And then all the people on the east side should get a brick, and they should come and throw a brick at the land bank during the second hour, because you know, the land bank was supposed to be something that was going to help the residents, and right now, unless you have $1,000, you know, you can't do it.
$10,000
It's going to be Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5, and that's at the different districts, like District 2,
Yep.
4, 5, District 1 and 2.
District
And what are they
offices,
supposed
okay.
to do? What are they
Well,
supposed to do?
it says bidding starts, but
gonna
I'm
bid
trying
for
to see where the
houses.
phone number is. But they just got open house Saturday, October the
Open
12th,
house.
1 to 5, and they just have District 2, and then they got all these different addresses for District
Well, maybe-
2 and District 4.
Maybe we could get somebody to go and then
Oh, here's
call
the
in
phone
next
number.
week.
I found the phone number.
No, I'm saying maybe somebody can call in if they attend and tell us what happened at a couple of those districts.
Yes.
'Cause,
Okay,
yeah,
Because
The
they're
phone
not
number
working
is-
right in no district and no towns. I mean, city like Highland Park, you know, we got problems with these land bank people. You
I
know,
know it.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Land
just,
grab.
and I don't care what they a pad in their pocket, and a lot of the so-called quote unquote people that are supposed to represent us are not exposing it.
It's a land grab.
Yes,
you
it
got
is.
people
Yeah.
that have to make that code. If you don't beat that code, they gonna come back and rebid your property.
That's right.
Yeah, not good, not good. You know.
That's
Yeah.
right.
so-
We have to get like the workers did years ago. You put somebody's stuff out,
We put it
and
back
we
in.
put it back in.
I remember that.
And I know when we first started doing that, even here after understanding what historically Detroit was on the front line on that years ago. They tried to make sure that the sheriff came out, a deputy would come out, and try to threaten us as to you couldn't do that. What we just went right on by them and did that. You know, because I'm not going to tolerate them sitting out women and children and families on the street just for other people to move into our neighborhoods. And I'm telling you, it's an infestation that is happening here in Highland Park. You got all these people riding up and down the street, be they black or white, and they're looking at our houses. You know, doing an inventory of our house and trying to see.
Are buying up Detroit.
Oh, they buying it up. And you know Dan Gilbert is a part of it. And you try to talk to people that's supposed to be on your side, and they'll say, well, we got to get some people in here with some money and stuff. Not to our expense you got to do that. What I mean, and that's what's happening.
Yeah,
He's in here also playing the piano in a sense and trying to see what he's gonna get. And you know, some of them, well, they ought to just go on and say it, Master. Master, which house do you want?
And that's just what it is.
And that's what it boils down to
right
be.
now, you know?
But not only that, listen to this. They think just because people got money that they gonna support and help you.
You
they
be the
got
first
money,
one
but
they
guess
throw
why
out.
They got money. It's because they don't spend their money. They spending your money. They getting pennies on the dollar. You paying and they playing. You getting played and they getting paid. That's why they got the money. But it's called builddetroit.org. Or you can call 313-974-6869. 974-6869.
Do it again.
974-6869.
Yep, 974-6869. Okay, a conversation with Council President Pro Tem, who is that? Sheffield.
Mary Sheffield.
Yeah, Tuesday the 27th at 6 p.m. She gonna be at that Henry Ford Health Center, the Ford Plaza. Is that on the boulevard?
That's on West Grand Boulevard.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be on the 27th at 6 p.m. If y'all want to talk to y'all, she's gonna be talking about neighborhood enterprise zones and what they mean to you. If your neighborhood is interested in the NEZ zone, we want to hear from you. We better find out what all these zonings are because they might be zoning us right on out.
And you know, there's no question of the districts, Marita. To me, that's a joke. When they did it in Detroit.
Well, we're not better off because we have districts.
No.
We're not better off.
They fighting each other for the pennies. And they had the audacity. One person, and you know, I really like that lady, but she went into the Charter Commission and fought for district. You know where? In the Highland Park. What do we need districts for?
And
it passed. I said,
No.
oh, yes, it did.
Oh, no.
And we must, I thought that was the biggest joke going.
You know what? Some of our people are so educated, they always educate.
They overeducated.
Benefit everybody but us.
That's right.
Truly. All right, well, caller, we've got the information about the land bank. I don't know. I don't have any faith in that anymore. But that information about taxes that's critical.
The land joke, you say?
The land joke.
That's right.
Road to recovery. You're not alone. Anybody out there struggling with addiction? 965-7760.
Okay, caller, I'll say this to you. Every day I watch on TV and they talk about the epidemic of vaping.
Yes.
And how horrible it is, and it's just unchecked. And the last I heard, there were almost 1,000 people in hospitals or recently released from hospitals, and up to about 20 or 21 dead, okay? 1,000 or less been in or out, just recently released from the hospital, and 20 or 21 dead. And I say to you, caller, that's not an epidemic. Not when you got 330 million people in the country. What's an epidemic is the 72,000 that died from opioid overdoses last year. Now that's an epidemic. Well, epidemic is all of the children in Highland Park that are going to require medical assistance, psychological assistance for decades. That's an epidemic. I think it's horrible that we got vaping, and I think it's horrible that we've got 20 or 21, mostly young people that have died already, but that's not an epidemic, and that's something that can be stopped right away. And I never
All they got
understood
to
that
do-
commercial
Maureen,
about Juul. Wait a minute.
all they have to
Juul is a narcotic. It's
Yes.
got tobacco. What difference does it make if you're trying to stop smoking and then you go get Juul, which is tobacco as well? What's the difference? Mr. Juul making money.
Mr.
Mr. Juul making big money now, but all that's coming to
He's
an end.
killing you too.
You know?
All right. Well, if y'all out there with ignition, it's 965-7760 and extension 234.
We got that one already.
Okay.
Okay, extension 234. Y'all, anybody that need help, get it, please.
Oh, you right,
But,
ma'am.
I guess I have to watch you on the rerun because I still haven't got y'all yet. I've been trying to.
But
pick
you can
up,
hear
but I
us,
can't.
right?
Well, all right.
Only on the phone because
she
I
can't
can't
get
get
on the
you on my
internet.
laptop
Oh,
and I
wow.
can't get you on my
What
Fire
happened to
Stick,
channel
so I just
15?
decided to call
I
in.
didn't know nothing about it. She didn't bring it up. We don't know. You know,
Okay, baby.
technology is not what we do best, okay?
I know. Okay.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you so much. All right. Mary, people are looking for places to live, so we got some addresses. But before that, I found this today. Wayne Metro Weatherization Day Open House.
What?
Weatherization Day Open House. And it's in Highland Park.
Oh,
I
that's
bought
the thing
this
you
for
were
you.
telling me, yeah.
Yeah, okay, in honor of National Weatherization Day. Who knew?
What day is that?
Wednesday, October the 30th, from 11:30. I'm gonna give this to you.
Okay.
From 11:30 to 1:30 over at 128 Cortland. The event is going to take place outside of the building in the breezeway. Okay, on Wednesday, October the 30th, from 11:30 to 1:30. The weatherization, it's called Wayne County Weatherization. They're going to highlight Home Weatherization Assistance Program and give tours of our new weatherization training house. The training house will showcase examples of the cost-effective, energy-efficient measures that WAP, the Weatherization Assistance Program, offers to income-eligible homeowners and renters in Wayne County. Join us for a brief presentation and light refreshments as we recognize this weatherization program, and it's important to our community. Here's a link to check on, but the event is October the 30th. Now, you remember, Mary, I worked for Home Weatherization
I remember.
30 years ago, and that's when we had, oh, Lord William, Mr. Warren, Bill Warren,
Yeah, I remember.
down at the city of Detroit, and the boss was Mr. Brown. And all of those,
Mr. Brown.
this is, I forgot what his first name is. He passed on a long time ago. But Mr. Brown, and then the assistant in the weatherization was Mr. Bill Warren. But I got hired through the most effective social worker I had ever met. And that was Miss Juanita McGill. You remember Miss McGill?
I remember Miss McGill.
And Ms. McGill hired me, William Eddy. We had a bunch of us that were over there. Willie Bosan. It was a team of us that worked with home weatherization for a number of years and measuring windows and getting up under them houses
I
and
remember
looking at them
calling
crawl spaces and all of that. And weatherization went away for a while.
Wait a minute, I remember calling you, and especially for our seniors and what have you, and you were Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, go there, put them great big beautiful aluminum double frame windows up on your house.
That's
I
right.
put them up there in a minute, then get that attic insulation blown up in your roof. Boy, I was all over the place. And that is the best memory, is when I was assigned to go, and, we would get like 2 blocks squares. You had to go 2 blocks this way, 2 blocks east, 2 blocks north, and you had to do all of the houses in that area. And Marion, if you recall, I almost lost my mind. And when I was over there on the east side and doing homes around Kirchhoffville and Mack, and go into those seniors' homes on the outside, they look a little tough, but when you go inside, they were beautiful. And what is that you cooking in here? And that's when I fell in love again with them doggone tea cakes. You remember them tea cakes? I lost my mind.
Wait a minute. We still putting a call out to anybody.
Don't nobody know how to make them no more.
If you can make some tea cakes.
Oh my God, those seniors, those elder women were making them tea cakes.
We
and
grew up on those.
collard greens in the house. And I would tell them, look, I'm going to get some aluminum double hung windows in every window in this house. And I'm going to get this insulation blown up in the attic. But I'm only going to do it if you fix me about 3 or 4 of them tea cakes. And I'm going to need some collard greens on the side. I lost my mind over there trying to eat that food. And then the other thing was, and I had never heard of this, ambrosia. You remember that?
I love ambrosia.
Man,
My
only
mother-in-law.
seniors on the east side knew how to make ambrosia.
Oh Lord, my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law. Well, my mother-in-law has passed away, but that family, General's mama, they knew how to make ambrosia. And then you and I
never heard of
Dr.
ambrosia.
King, if you ever hear us out here,
Tell that story.
We went to
Oscar King.
the first. It was the first time he spoke as
it-
their minister.
Yeah,
And,
he was inaugurated into their church.
Yeah, on
Northwest. What's the name of it?
Northwest. I didn't forget the name of the church.
Northwest Baptist.
Something
like that, yeah.
And
Northwest Baptist.
it was packed. The church was packed. And once they said the prayer and released us to
Had
go
the
down,
service, yeah.
go downstairs. Well, Maureen and I, we could move pretty fast then. We got downstairs, and the first thing our eyes went on was the ambrosia.
Well, I didn't know what it was. Remember?
I knew.
And you said you don't know what that is. You got to taste that. What's that, Marion? Ambrosia. What's that?
Oh,
you mean
Lord.
from the east side?
Yeah.
That's the second time I saw it.
And the lady said, y'all put all that food back. Because other people also we put it back because the minister has to come down and bless the table. Maureen and I sit down with our ambrosia and hugged it.
Yeah.
And
We'll wait till he come down here. We won't eat it yet.
Although we have eaten some of it.
Ooh-wee.
And Dr. King came down, blessed the food. We said, well, we guess we made some of your people mad at us because we wasn't going to give up our ambrosia.
It was so good, and that was the second experience I had with that.
Oh,
'cause
that stuff
after I
was
left
good.
the east side, I couldn't find anybody else that knew how to make ambrosia.
You need to learn how to make it.
No, you have to know how to do that, and all I could do is work at it. You
Yeah.
know, you remember even at this station, we offered people money. Remember?
Yeah,
we
for tea
offered
cakes.
people money for tea cakes, and all these people. My Aunt Sally and my Uncle Jimmy and all these other people. They know how to make that stuff, but we never met Aunt Sally or Uncle Jimmy. None
No.
of them ever showed up.
But
You know?
Maureen, I think one of the things we will probably do, either in the coming year or before then, at Welfare Rights, is have people bring their famous dish in.
Oh, their favorite dish.
And you remember how Ruth called for a potluck,
Yeah.
and we were just. And we had all these people we were working with, and everybody showed up with a plate. And remember, we had to take the rest of the food to the homeless to make sure that food didn't get spoiled.
Didn't get wasted, yeah.
And make sure that all of them got some. Oh, that was a wonderful night. Have a great night, and people enjoyed themselves. I don't care how mad they were at each other at one time. We enjoyed that.
Had a ball.
And when you can do that and sit down and still talk to people,
That's special.
that is a special thing.
All right, now caller, I don't know who this is on the phone, but if you gonna start promising, just a minute, if you gonna start
Lord.
promising to bring some ambrosia, or you know
barbecue.
somebody that knows how to make tea cakes, and telling all of them stories
happened to
about
our
all of that kind of
barbecue?
stuff, all I'm gonna tell you is that we gonna talk about your dog here. So go ahead, caller. Now tell us, what are you gonna share with us tonight?
Well, you know what? I cannot cook. I cannot cook. So
Okay.
I can't bring any ambrosia. But I just wanted to tell you that I'm watching you on 15.1.
15.1. Now that's a cable channel.
Just regular, not not cable.
Okay.
Just no cable, just regular TV.
Oh, you talking about with the rabbit ears?
Right.
Okay.
15.1.
15.1. That's in the kitchen. Okay. Well, that's the only place that works. Is it? Caller, you calling from your kitchen?
No.
You in the
Calling from my
basement?
television.
You in the basement?
I'm calling from my regular. You see, you know, you can switch off that. You can switch off cable.
You can, but the problem is you can't switch it back.
Yeah, you better learn how to switch it back so
See?
you can watch welfare. You can watch and listen to welfare rights.
All right, I got that in the kitchen, so I'm going to have to try that. So you're the second one that told us about that, so we're going to try that, 15.1.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you one thing, caller. Are you born and raised in Detroit?
This is Gracie.
Oh,
Now, you
okay.
know I was
They're
born and
Gracie.
raised in
That's great.
well, I just want to ask now. I don't
you
want
know
to.
what?
All
I
right,
don't put
now.
Well, you know Gracie
But wait
mama
just
could
a
cook.
minute now. Do you know what I mean when I say tea cakes?
I sure do.
Uh-oh. See?
Well,
Now,
My mother-in-law was a terrific cook.
Well, we can't find any of those people anymore, okay? And we like to try to take this trip down memory lane. We got a guy that's been bringing us barbecue down here for about 5 or 6 years. He ain't made it
yet.
He ain't made it yet. And yeah, we got a lot of folks. We got a fella that every year he swear he gonna bring us some collard greens. Remember that?
And that
And
man can make some collard greens.
Yeah, and we ain't seen him yet, you know. So, Miss Gracie, we're just happy to hear your voice. But thank you for admitting that you cannot cook. So we don't even have to
Gracie
ask
said
you.
she couldn't
I
cook.
cannot cook at all.
That's what she said. She don't cook no more. All right.
I know what you mean, Gracie.
Hey, I never could. I never could cook that well. My children learned how to cook.
After they
can have a
found out
decent
that you
meal.
didn't know how, huh?
That's right.
Oh, Gracie.
Well, Miss Gracie, you got any news to report to us this evening?
Yes.
No, I don't have any news.
Oh, she
When
was
is your
just
next
enthused.
meeting?
Next week.
What next week? I have 7 days, Gracie.
Okay.
What day?
She doesn't
Oh,
know.
no, you know what? I do have some news.
Go ahead.
The Poor People's Campaign is having a meeting on
Sunday.
At you talking about Sunday?
Yes.
What time is it?
At 2. It's from 2 to 4 on Livernois, but I don't know that address.
It's the old.
You know the address?
No, I can't. I never keep it with me.
15,000 block of 15,000
Livernois.
block of Livernois. We'll get that together before we get off the air tonight. Okay.
All righty.
Thank you, Miss Gracie.
Call a little bit,
Never mind.
and she can call it. She can tell us the address.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, Miss
thank you.
Gracie.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Caller, you've been so patient. I thought you knew. You're on the air, caller. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you on the air? No, we can't hear you.
You think that's the barbecue man?
Well, we've been waiting on that. Morris been on his way to bring some collard greens.
And
Well, he's probably at home eating them
That
collard
collard
greens that he's
green.
been making for us for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Gonna fix them.
We
and
were
then
gonna
sit
give
right
Junior
there and eat
some of it.
you know. But Yeah. All of that food. But all right, okay, so let me go ahead, and we got these houses, and people are always in some trouble looking for a place. 17179 Rose Lawn, 3 bedrooms. Okay. 12896 Southfield Freeway, 12896 and 12898 Southfield. Single, story, 2 bedrooms apiece.
It's 2 separate bathrooms?
No, 1 bathroom. It's like a duplex,
A duplex.
but it's just 1 floor. 10330 West Point. That's over there by Miss Theo. 10330 West Point. Penrod Street, 13567
Where's
Penrod.
Penrod? That's
Over
east
there,
side?
no, west side over there by me. 13567 Penrod. And we got a number of houses. They look like they're recently renovated, Marion. 7411 Mansfield. We talking about off of Warren. 8903 Vaughn. Zip codes over here, 48226 by my school. 13510 Dale, like no, spelled a different way, Dale, and that's over there by Joy Road near Telegraph, 48223. And I'll read 2 more. 8260 8260 Marlow, 48228, and 13563 Faust, 123 to
That's
4th
over that
Street.
way you used to
Yeah, I
live.
did. 13563 Faust, 123 4th Street's past Southfield. Zip is 48223. All of these houses are between $625 a month up to $750. If you're interested and you want to get some more of these addresses, I got a phone number. Here it is.
And we can have those copies this week down at the office.
Or people can call over to Satisfaction Realty.
Okay.
Area code 248. Phone number is 424-8825, 424-8825. So folks looking for places to rent 2 and 3 bedrooms, call Satisfaction Realty. Caller, you've been very patient. You're on the air.
Well, thank you. I just finished talking to one of the owners of Satisfaction Realty. But
Okay.
I wanted to tell you I enjoyed the meeting that I attended at Welfare Rights Office.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
meeting was that?
And,
Which meeting?
This is Theo Burton, the
Oh,
one that
Theo.
you just had. the other
Oh,
day.
we enjoyed you. I'm glad you're becoming a part of the
Absolutely.
of the FAST
TC Task Force.
senior task force.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know you can't keep up with them.
All right. You know, the only thing that gets in my way is lack of transportation. Other than that, I'm there.
We know.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
But I wanted to say that tomorrow,
Oh, tomorrow.
the research will be celebrating Sweetest Day.
Okay.
Because
Sweetest Day.
That's when our meeting is. And we're going to be on Grand River and Wyoming in the Dabo Center. The address is 12048 Grand River.
Red River in Wyoming.
And we wanted to invite you because we also want to talk about facial recognition.
Yes.
We need to get the
Technology.
council, oh, Lord, to be without that. And, you know, I attended a meeting, and they had nerve to talk about virtual patrol.
Oh.
That simply means that some officer would sit and watch a computer of the streets in the city. And
Yeah.
if somebody's going down the street and somebody decides to take advantage and rob them, what is sitting in front of a computer going to do to help that?
You have to send out virtual help. See, That's the only thing that's left. Virtual patrol means you get virtual help.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
Just like putting these cameras in the traffic light and on the trees and the light poles. That's not going to help me in my neighborhood. They're not going to jump down and run down the street, these cameras, please.
Miss Theo, let me tell you right quick something that Mary and I saw a week and a half ago, and that is HUD and their housing agents are supposed to do inspections
Yeah.
at homes once a year where people are getting Section 8 vouchers, right?
Okay.
And we saw, I'd never seen that before, a virtual inspection. And they put a date on a piece of paper.
What?
Had a virtual inspection.
I mean, that was something
I don't
else.
even know what that is.
Wait a minute. I looked at that and I said, didn't you say, I asked Maureen and the client, I said, didn't you say they did an inspection on the place?
She said it was scheduled, but nobody ever called.
And
No.
and
And
what
nobody ever
happened? What we looked at on the, I was looking over that paper and I said, Maureen, give this to Maureen. And looked at
Virtual
that.
inspection.
Oh, they're doing it over the telephone.
I don't know how you do
How
that.
you gonna do that over the telephone? And
You
they
can't.
and you cannot. And see, the thing is, the judge and all of them have been used to getting their ways and overlooking all that stuff.
Oh, Lord.
And Mr. I can't never say-
Mr.
Mr. is always Mr. I thought they were gonna run through that hearing too.
They weren't able
They
to.
would they needed to go back and be re-educated.
We need court watchers. We need court watchers.
You
We
We're
gonna,
going to be at Depot
uh,
tomorrow from 2 to 6. And anybody tuned in who wants to
Okay.
participate as a court watcher, they
Oh,
need to
yes.
be there. That's
Yes.
ridiculous.
I
Yes.
tell you, Miss Theo, thank you once
Thank you.
again. 2 to 6 at Daybo. We
Daybo.
talking Grand River and Wyoming.
That's
And happy Sweetest Day.
Yes.
That's right.
And
Be
thank you, my
tomorrow.
dear.
Peace. Thank you.
All right. Call you on the air. You've been very patient. All right. It sounds like the buzzer man. Yeah, sounds like one of those Amish homes. Okay, so we'll have to figure out what is going on with that line, you know. But I remember those homes and those chants and whatnot. So yeah, we can make lemonade out of lemons. We hear that, and we'll just start humming with it, you know.
If
So
they bring
yeah,
us some tea cakes, we can do more.
all these people promising to bring food down
Yeah.
here, or maybe we better start checking RJ. Maybe he been getting our food
You
at
think
the
so?
front door
You think
and
so?
sneaking it in the back and not telling us anything. I never thought of that, you know. I remember when he hurt his knee and hurt his hip. And I didn't think of that, Marion. He was on that walker.
Yes.
And he had that walker with that little chair and that little
Yes.
pocket thing inside. And I never thought to look in there.
We-
He
we
might
gonna
have
have
been
to- we gonna have
hiding
to-
our tea cakes in that little walker.
You
You,
think
know what
so?
I mean?
What
Got
about
to-
RJ?
That's what I'm saying. I had to check with RJ and it like, move out, move away. Let me look
But
inside
you
that
know,
walker.
RJ
You know
losing
what
weight,
you doing?
Maureen.
Well,
He shouldn't be the
You know?
corporate on this.
well, and speaking of corporate, you know, I think we've had graft and corruption in government a long time, and now it's an issue because the corporations that used to go along with government corruption, now they fighting each other, and now it becomes
it
an
is
issue, you know.
There has we've been taught. Watch out
They-
that when the capitalists start
friends.
fighting each other, we got to watch out and begin to make sure that the working class understands what's going on.
Battle of the
and,
Titans.
And we have to begin to come together and look at the fact that we can build a new world.
Well, they
Maureen.
go ahead and fight each
Not
other
with
off.
those people
and
at the
maybe
helm.
they'll just kill each other off.
Yeah.
But I looked before I got down here today. We only have about 12 minutes left. Before I got down here today, the Turkey was bombing the daylights out
you
of
see that?
these Kurdish people,
Yes.
and the children are screaming and running, and
Why you not helping us
100,000
no more?
on the way running out of town. You know, this is just, And the president, I never heard anybody say anything like that. Well, the reporter's asking, well, what are you going to do if the Turkish army starts fighting and killing the Kurdish army that you've been working with? What are you going to do? And number 45 said, well, the Kurds didn't help us in World War II. There were no Kurds in World War II. You know, they didn't help us. He's just a piece of work. Yeah, he's really is something. But see, the Pope getting ready to issue another encyclical about this violence. And the Pope then already said he don't want to have no more meetings with Mr. Trump. You know, that's why he won't come here. You know, so maybe we can make some changes in 2020 where we can get the Pope to show up in America away from this madness that seems to be going on.
And his
You know.
and his cowboys.
You see?
Now I don't want to make it look like cowboys are bad people. I'm talking about that's what they try to act like, you know, at times. They think that those folks in D.C. think they can get away with everything.
Well, they have been so far. So far, you
But
know,
it's
defy
like
subpoena.
higher and higher and higher and
Yeah,
higher.
more and more.
More and more.
I wonder when they're going to
complaints.
send the marshals to go get these folks
Listen
that
to
are
that rain.
ignoring subpoenas.
You hear that rain?
I think that's the air conditioning going up.
I think that's the rain.
Well, we're going to know in about 10 more minutes,
Yeah.
you know. Okay, I need to tell you about this case that I have
Another one.
every day. All right, I got a young woman who had lived with family members, and she had not paid any water. She's working full-time. She's a grown-up.
What do you mean she hasn't paid no water?
Her and the family members that lived together, and she had total income, and the family members only had Social Security,
Okay.
SSI, something like that. And she'd been living with them for, you know, since this was her family. So she's 25, 26 years old now, and she'd been living in this house all along. And for the last 4 or 5 years, she's got a good paying job at one of the big three. And she doesn't pay any bills at all because her family members been paying things. Well, one had a stroke, somebody else had a heart attack, and then somebody else passed away. And so she's in the house now alone. And she has not paid any water bills in about 8 months. And her water got turned off. So, you know, however it happened, she called Welfare Rights, and people were asking her things and telling her what she needed to do. And I talked to her last weekend and I asked her, okay, well, I'm reading the notes, and it says that you were advised to, you know, find out what amount do you need to pay to get the water restored. And she said, well, I haven't had a chance to do that. So it had been like about 2 weeks. Say, well, you haven't called the water department to find out what percentage of the total bill that you need to pay to restore service? She said, well, no, I haven't had a chance, but I'm going to do that. So that was last weekend. So Wednesday that just passed, I called her again after 7 o'clock at night. I was still at the job, and she still hadn't called. So then she said that not having water is really getting next to her. So she hasn't had water in about 2-3 months. So I thought it's not really getting next to her because she only had one phone call to make and she hadn't made it. So, man, I checked with her again last night. Have you made the call to find out what percentage of the total bill you need to pay? And she said, I did, and I have to pay $4,000. I said, well, is that, you know, what's the percentage of that? She said, well, that's 10%. I said, $4,000, you have a $40,000 phone bill?
A phone bill?
A water bill. I said, you've got a $40,000 water bill? She said, no, you're not doing the math right. I'm not doing the math right. I told her, look, little girl, what you better do is go get you a pencil and a paper and a calculator. Go find out what 10%, and she cut me off. She said, I don't know how to do percentages. I stopped in my tracks. I said, okay, let me not snap at you because I didn't understand. And she just told me that I'm working. I never finished high school. I went back and got a GED, but I don't know how to do percentages. And I couldn't think of anything else to say but that I'll call you over the weekend and we'll work something out. She had no idea how to figure out what 10% of 4,000 was. And I was surprised. She's 26, 27 years old and didn't know the answer. Okay, has to do with education and people not really able to grasp the concepts of math. And she said something about that. You know, I never was a really good student in math, and that's too bad to hear because all girls know how to do math. They do. You know how to cook, and you know how you have to get a cup. And I got to thinking about that, a teaspoon. They don't do that anymore.
Well, I do.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in kitchens today, people don't cook things from scratch. You know, you need a teaspoon of sugar, you need a teaspoon of salt. Nobody does that anymore. I wonder if there's anybody that still makes cakes from scratch.
Well,
where you can
even,
buy Betty Crocker mixes and just
well, you
put the stuff in
wait,
there.
wait a minute. Even if you buy Betty Crocker or any of those cakes, you still have to measure the stuff and put it in there. You know, even if you have to make cupcakes, the same thing. You have to measure it because it tells you right there on the box how much it's got to go in there. And, you know, once you learn, you got it and gone.
Well, are parents still making cupcakes?
Yeah.
Or are they buying cupcakes because
No,
they're so cheap now?
Yeah, they still
That's
make
what I'm
cupcakes.
saying, you
No,
know?
they still make cupcakes. Even Sylvia make cupcakes and bring her down to the office and what have you.
Well, I don't see that very often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have different parent discussions in my school. And I talk to these parents about different things. And, you know, what used to be commonplace, Marion, is not common anymore.
No, it's not common.
You know, and I know that there are few holdouts that do this. I remember when men used to cook. Men used to cook in the kitchen and measure and all of that kind of stuff, and it's so rare
Well,
to
you know,
find
Maureen,
that. You know, what about
Maureen.
sewing?
Maureen, you know, I've been fortunate, and you too, because you had Mom there. That Jen cooked at my house,
Yes.
and Mom cooked at your house. And when you came in from picking up Navarre, the food was ready. When I got home, I knew that General had cooked something. If not, he was going to cook something, you know, or something like that.
How rare is that these days? See, we don't
know.
find
Very
that.
rare.
Yeah, we don't
but I
find
have
that
some.
anymore.
See, I have a niece that loves to cook. I have, you know, my daughters love to cook. So I don't worry about that too much because.
No, it's not that. But what I'm saying is that's a practice that we used to always take for granted.
And I don't like to cook that much.
You know, but you can. You
Yeah.
know how to cook. My grandmother was a sewer, and she made skirts with box pleats and all beautiful clothes.
That's how my mother
Follow.
did
What was the name of some of those patterns? Simplicity. What was the name of that
Simplicity.
stuff? Was that it?
Uh-huh,
Simplicity and McCall's patterns.
all those patterns.
And lay those patterns out, and my grandmother used to make the most beautiful clothes.
Yeah.
I don't even know people that have sewing machines
Well,
anymore.
what they used to do, they used to go and look in the window in downtown or somewhere, and they would draw that
pattern.
and go home and cut that pattern out.
Mm-hmm.
And here you have the same thing that you just thought you would never be able to wear. My aunt was good at that. She can make those suits.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. I was in the choir at church, and we had to have these little capes, and it was about 40 of them. She made all that. They were so cute, you know, but at
Where do you
least-
see that
at
now?
least we knew how to do put a hem in a skirt and everything and measure that stuff right.
I have kids that come to me in my office at my school, and we're talking about in October of 2019. Miss Taylor, I need some help. Well, come on in. What's the matter? I got a rip in my my uniform. I got a rip on my pants. I got a rip on my shirt, and I didn't want to throw it away. Can you fix it? Okay, you need a needle and a thread. I've seen it, but I don't know what to do with that. I
Yeah,
went
I
out
know.
and got needles and different color threads, keep them in my office. Last year, the group that we graduated, they would come in the office and show me how to do, and they wanted to learn. But not anymore. Nobody, you know, the skills that you need to live. If you're going to college, if you're going to the factory, wherever it is you're going to work, you're going to tear something one day. And like what you just said, how do you put a hem in a pair of pants or in a skirt if the hem is falling out? They don't know how to do it.
Well, what they tend
You
to
know?
do now, Maureen, is they bring those, they buy the thread. No, yeah, it'd be plastic or something up under there, and they put it in. There's a way to measure, and for your jeans and all that, and you iron it in.
I've seen that, and
Uh-huh. And they
it's
stay
like
along.
a
It stays.
the heat
Uh-huh.
makes it adhere,
Adhere.
and you can iron it, and you don't have to use a needle and a thread.
Well,
know?
you do eventually have
You
to
know?
use a needle and thread, but you know, otherwise you're gonna be.
You can iron it
Iron
over and
over
over
and
again.
over again.
Yeah, you could do that. But it's just some of those things. I remember black people used to always have pride in sending their kids to music school.
Oh yeah.
And haven't seen that in a while. And right around the corner from my house, right there on James Cousins Service Drive and Outer Drive, there's a music school for dance, singing, and piano playing. And half the times you can't even get on my street. So there is a need, and people do want to know about showing their kids how to play the piano, you know. All right, Marion, you have 30 seconds to say good night.
Good night. I'm going home and eat me some spaghetti.
Enjoy. I'm gonna go home in a very few minutes. I'm going to a pancake breakfast tomorrow, prayer breakfast tomorrow morning, over on East 7 Mile Road.
Make sure you pray for all of us.
Hey, and deliver a few comments. And I'll just say to everybody, it's rainy out there. The streets are slick. Stop trying to act like your tires have brains. Slow down. And let's not run into each other. Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Marion and I will be back next Friday, and we will see you then. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Be safe.
Thank you.